And Georgia Congressman Buddy Carter. Congressman, how are you feeling about those two Florida elections?
Very confident we're going to win. I am certain of it. I tell you, this is the Trump agenda at work. These are Republican districts. And yes, we have been outspent 5-1 by the Democrats. I mean, after all, they don't have anywhere else to spend their money. So they're throwing it into these races, making it closer than it should be. But we're still going to win. We're going to win those seats because people believe in the Trump agenda. And now we're going to have reinforcements to enforce that agenda and get that agenda through Congress.
But it's my understanding that the Democrat challenger in the Fine race raised $10 million in part by saying, I want to get into the House to oppose President Trump.
Well, I'm sure those people who gave him that money feel that way, but the people who are going to vote are the people who are going to matter. And the people who are going to vote are going to send both Republicans in Florida to the United States House of Representatives. We're very confident of that. We're going to keep those two seats. They're Republican seats. And yes, the Democrats can throw as much money at it as they want to, but we're going to win those seats.
All right. Elise Stefanik is the Republican congresswoman who was tapped to be the United Nations ambassador. Now she is going to stay in Congress in part because, well, it's just such a tight balance of power right now. Here's what she had to say about that on Sunday Morning Futures.
Congress must pass this reconciliation package to cut taxes, unleash American energy independence, and secure the border. That was what the president and Republicans ran on, and we need to deliver. And the reality is, this is a historically slim House majority, and it's very important that we have every single vote in the House. So I'm proud to be stepping up as a team to support the American people to get this done and to continue to support President Trump. And I believe that we will deliver results as we always have.
She's taking one for the team, she says. I mean, you know, being UN ambassador is a very high-profile position. Now she'll be one of 433 or so members of Congress.
Well, what the American people are seeing right now is what I saw in 2015 when I came into the House with Elise Stefanik, and that is what a quality person she is and what a team player she is. She gets it. She knows that Governor Hochul was going to rig this race, this special election, and she understands how important our majority is. But I want to correct one thing that was said there. She will not be just one of 433. She'll be in leadership, as she should be, and she'll be helping to direct us in the Republican conference.
Yeah, we have a graphic that shows the balance of power right now. And as she said, it's historically tight. Democrats and Republicans. Democrats have 213 seats. At present, Republicans have 218. You're hoping that after Tuesday's election, you'll get to 220?
We are hoping and we're expecting that is our goal. We want to, you know, we've got less of a majority now in the House than the Senate has. I mean, how often does that happen? Not very often at all. It is a very slim majority. That's why we need every vote, because we cannot count on the Democrats for anything. They're not going to vote to lower taxes. They want to see the highest tax increase ever if the tax cuts are not extended. They could care less about that. What we want to do is to make sure Americans aren't saddled with the highest tax increase that would ever happen to over 80% of the population. We're going to make sure that we secure our border. We're going to make sure that we unleash American energy. All of those things are going to be done by the Republican majority.
There's also the question of tariffs, though. The president is instituting some pretty large tariff increases this week, and a lot of Americans say they are nervous about that. Are you confident that these tariffs are the way to go?
Very confident. Look, long term, that's what we have to think here. And that's what this president is thinking. This has gone on for too long. And nobody has addressed it. John, you've traveled overseas in other countries. Ask yourself, have you seen as many American cars on foreign roads as you see foreign cars on American roads? No, because they protect their industries over there. That's what they've been doing. And the longer we put this off, the longer we don't pay attention to it and address it, the worse it becomes. Yes, there will probably be some short-term pain, but I would submit to you that the long-term gain for American workers, for American families, will far outweigh that.
Okay, but what if that short-term pain runs into the midterm elections? Is it possible or likely that your party could get bounced out of power in the House if people are unhappy come November, a year and a half from now?
Believe in the American people, and I believe that they can understand and that they see that this is for the long term. I'm confident that this, there's swings in the stock market all the time. We see that, and that's going to happen. But at the same time, this is something that needs to be addressed. This is something that's been put off for way too long, much like our budget deficit, I might add, which has been ignored for too long and is getting worse and worse. The longer you ignore it, the harder it is to address it. So has been the unfair playing field that we've been experiencing that has hurt the American worker and American families. Donald Trump is going to do something about that. This is a tool in his tool chest.
On that score, the Doge Committee, Elon Musk's Doge organization, is raising a lot of hackles in Washington and elsewhere. What do you think of the work that committee is doing?
Applaud the work, and it baffles me that Democrats would be critical of them. I mean, this is taxpayers' money. Whether you're Republican, a Democrat, or independent, it's your money. Why wouldn't you want to see waste, fraud, and abuse identified? Why wouldn't you want to see it addressed and getting out of our budget? This saves all of us, all taxpayers, money, and that's what we want. And finally, we have someone who's using 21st century technology, using algorithms, all the things that we should be using instead of the antiquated checks and balances that we've been using to discover waste, fraud, and abuse. I applaud what Elon Musk is doing. That's why I'm a member of the Doge Caucus in Congress, so that we can codify some of the things that he's finding.
Congressman Buddy Carter, Republican of Georgia, we appreciate you coming on. Thank you.